Guys, I promised myself I'd never do a cruise ship, but on the Nile it doesn't count, right? On the Nile it's different.
It's a mini cruise. It's not like one of those big cruise
Mini
ships.
cruise, like a river cruise.
River cruise.
So we don't count. It doesn't count. Everybody's along the river anyway, so we're doing it in the most efficient way possible. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll travel deeper tomorrow. Straight from the overnight sleeper train station in Aswan, we have made it. I'm a complete mess, to be honest with you guys. Haven't slept in 3 days, haven't showered, haven't shaved, but it doesn't matter. From Siwa, 9 hours back to Cairo. Cairo, overnight sleeper train, the last couple episodes that you've seen, and now here in Aswan, and our first minute in town, we jumped on a boat. This is our fearless leader, Walid. He's gonna be joining us inside the temples. Let's see if I can get some light on our faces. We're heading in now. Minute 1, hour 1 here in Aswan. Sleep when I get home. In the meantime, Egypt is calling. The very first stop on our journey exploring southern Egypt is here at the Philae Temple. Immediately, I'm blown away. The pyramids of Giza are incredible structures, but this is something completely different. I'm walking through preserved history from one of the oldest known civilizations on Earth. This particular complex is primarily dedicated to the Egyptian goddess Isis, the mother of all gods, goddess of the sky, moon, healing, and magic, among other spiritual powers. Look at the detail on these walls. Every square foot of real estate on these walls is covered by these incredible drawings, these ancient stories, and everything is so detailed and still so well preserved. Look at this. I mean, come on. It's just massive. And it overlooks these incredible rock formations in the water and the ferry boats that we came in on from downtown Aswan. Well, this is really our first look inside of a temple. You had the pyramids in Giza. Those are really the exterior formations. There isn't much inside to see. It served as a protective boundary and barracks for Egyptian pharaohs, and then also for the Greeks and Romans during each of their respective time controlling this region. Which is why you can see monuments of various eras, extending from the pharaohs to the Caesars, including this amazing structure called Trajan's Kiosk, the unfinished monument dedicated to the Roman emperor Trajan. Check out this temple over here. Remember that scene in Troy when the one king goes to Achilles and he's like, hey, I need you to come fight in this war for me. And then Achilles' nephew was like, I'll go fight in the war. And Achilles was like, no, I don't want you to go. And the king's like, we all use our tricks to our advantage. And you had the sword, but I have negotiation. Well, this site reminds me of that. I did a terrible job of explaining the scene, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Regardless, look how beautiful this is. Aswan was an important frontier town of ancient Egypt, even mentioned in the Bible under its original name. It was a trade center, serving as the gateway to Sudan and Ethiopia. Occupied by the Persians, and then the Greeks, and then the Romans. I mean, we're traversing up one of the most important waterways in the history of the world. That's just crazy to wrap my head around. And to this day, one indigenous group still calls this place home, the Nubians. All right, next up, we traded in a smaller boat for a bigger boat. We made an upgrade in order to make it over to the Nubian village. Now, what is this place?
Here is the Nubian village. It's called Gharb Sohail, or west of Sohail.
Okay.
Okay, we are going to see here how the Nubians live here.
Okay.
We are going to enter one of their houses.
What is a Nubian?
Nuba,
I guess that's number one that we should.
Nuba or Nubia means gold because of gold mines.
Okay.
And the Nubians, actually they are Sudanese from Sudan.
Okay.
And during the first time, they were enemies of Egypt.
Ooh.
For that, you know, King Ramses II, he married one of their queens, that's Nefertari.
Okay.
And he built a temple for her 600 kilometers south of Luxor, the capital at the time,
okay,
to control them.
And now Nubian is
Or
just
Egyptians now.
If you're Nubian, you're a type of religion or you're a type of people?
People.
Type of people.
Type of people.
From Sudan.
Sudan.
Perfect. Let's go inside to a traditional Nubian village and check it out.
See one.
First thing to take note of walking in here is all of the colors. This place is just flushed with colors. Every wall is painted. All of this bazaars, all of the spices are multiple colors. This place is just vibrant as it gets. Going into a house now. Yes. The Nubian people are an ethnic group indigenous to Nubia, or what is the modern-day region of northern Sudan and southern Egypt. They originate from the early inhabitants of the central Nile Valley, and they speak their own Nubian languages, as well as Arabic and some English. You see the whole village from up here. So many different little markets. Beautiful people walking around. Still used as a Nubian village, although it's very popular for tourists these days, and they are very famous for it, their color. Beautiful colors, artwork all over every wall. Overlooking it, the music is incredible. The sounds, the smells from the spices. Honestly, this all feels like a movie set. Overlooking the Nile River, very cool. And while this is considered a traditional Nubian village, I highly doubt their ancestors sold as many plastic camels. However, they are a trading people, so for today's Nubians here, they're trading homemade trinkets and souvenirs for foreigners' cash, I guess. Now, I still can't figure out if this place is showcasing Nubian culture or exploiting it, but I would have loved to stay here longer to see beyond the colorful exteriors, because I have to believe that not everyone here is so concerned about tourist money. And that is a wrap on the Nubian village. Heading back into Aswan now. Everybody's still coming out. Look at all the people hanging out. And we're heading back into Aswan for our accommodation. We're staying actually at a cruise ship. On a cruise ship. I never thought I'd say those words, but we booked it last minute through Egypt, actually on our way back from Siwa. So literally yesterday we booked it. And so we're gonna stay on the cruise ship for 3 nights, sailing up the Nile River because we wanted to experience as much as possible in a very limited amount of time. And this is a good way to do it without dealing with all the logistics, because you gotta get drivers, you gotta get hotels, you gotta get all those things. So I just said, set it all up. Quite frankly, I didn't plan too much ahead. We decided on Egypt about 2 weeks before we were gonna do it, so I needed a little help last minute to make things happen. We're gonna hit Abu Simbel in the morning. This is a big, beautiful temple. I can't wait to see it. We leave actually at 4 in the morning, so we're gonna head back to the ship, get some dinner, hang out, relax, and hit it again in the morning. And here it is. That little guy is our house on the water. Imagine that. Taking a cruise. I guess it doesn't count, it's the Nile, right? That's what I'm gonna tell myself anyway. For the Nile, it's cool to take a cruise, right? We are back. Here's the lobby. Coming through the lobby. There's a stairwell up. We come right through here. 109. Let's take a look. Here's our room. Oh! There's got a couple of double beds here. Nice flat screen TV. And views of the Nile. So as I said, this was a very last minute decision. We wanted to see as much as we could in Aswan and Luxor, but we really didn't have a plan. So we had 2 options: do everything ourselves and figure out each driver each day, each location, filming permits, photo permits, entrance fees, all that stuff, or call my friends over at Egypt and say, hey guys, we have 5 days, what can we do? And they said, don't worry about it, leave it to us. Jump on one of our cruises and we'll figure out the entire itinerary, and that's exactly what they did. So after running around in Cairo and Siwa, we wanted to just enjoy Egypt, and that's what we're doing. We're just gonna go with the flow. We actually do have private tour guides everywhere, so I requested us to get in early so we beat the crowds at some of these incredible and popular temples. So that's a huge plus. And this is us. We're gonna get ready, go to dinner, maybe take a shower for the first time in a few days. And what?
We're gonna put a nice cuts to you.
We're gonna put a nice this is a guy, that's why he's here. He's reminding me of sponsorships all the time. We're gonna put a nice Cuts clothing on because somebody, I'm not gonna say any names. Go ahead and vouch for the green and the black.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I love this shirt. This is probably my favorite shirt I have. And I don't hate, but I haven't taken it off in like 4 days. Not because I just haven't. I just love it.
Yeah.
And the pants. The Cuts black.
Come over here. Come on, show them off.
Okay, these
I'm
pants.
trying not to zoom in on this.
These pants are actually great because a lot of the pants, when you wear them for a few days, like, okay, I've worn them for 3 days in a row now. But,
no judgment. This is a judgment-free zone.
But they don't stretch. That's the one thing. Like, sometimes you get pants and you wear them and they start stretching out, but these ones keep their fit. They're perfect.
Guys, authentic reviews from real sponsorships. Listen, I know I talk about Cuts a lot on this channel, and I'm gonna make it quick here, but they've been an awesome partner. They've made this Egypt trip happen for us, so make sure you go give them support by clicking on that link in my description. Travel deeper for 15% off. We're gonna get ready for dinner. We're gonna put on some fancy Cuts gear and head up and see what a cruise ship has to offer. Guys, I promised myself I'd never do a cruise ship, but on the Nile it doesn't count, right? On the Nile it's different.
It's a mini cruise. It's not like one of those big cruise
Mini
ships.
cruise, like a river cruise.
River cruise.
So we don't count. It doesn't count. Everybody's along the river anyway, so we're doing it in the most efficient way possible, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll travel deeper tomorrow. And next up on the hit list is Abu Simbel. Now this one's a journey to get to from Aswan. It's a 3-hour car ride. We left at about 4:30 this morning, got in just before 8 a.m. Now, the crossing, the checkpoint to get into the area opens at 5 a.m. So if you want to get here before that, you got to stay at one of the guest houses right here in Abu Simbel, which I highly recommend because this place can get very crowded. And rightfully so. It is literally the most beautiful archaeological site I've ever seen. Archaeological. I nailed it first time. Also, side note, before we dive in, this isn't part of the archaeological site. I wouldn't put my hands on it. I try to respect the area. You guys should too. Not you as I'm pointing to Tyler, but I mean like Tyler as in all of you. Respect the archaeological site. Also, I just told some kid in there that he was using a flash. I was like, you don't use the flash camera in here.
I actually saw that. The guy was taking a flash.
Yeah. Of course, he was on a Nikon too, so his photos aren't going to turn out anyway. Let's go inside. A stone's throw away from the border of Sudan rests Abu Simbel, the grand temples of Egyptian Pharaoh Ramses II, who in his reign embarked on an expansive building program, many in his own honor, to impress upon the people in this region of Egypt's great power and control, as this area was an important source of gold and other precious trading goods. While most of the massive statues are of Ramses himself, including the 4 20-meter or 66-foot monuments at the main temple's entrance, Ramses' wife, Nefertari, also has a few statues and carvings. His other family members and children can be seen as well, as much smaller figures by his feet. All of this just seems too amazing to be real. Perhaps the most incredible aspect of this site is the fact that in 1968, the entire complex was moved to this artificial hill, piece by piece, exactly how it was found from its original resting place to avoid being flooded by the creation of a man-made lake. And as the crowds begin to pack in to witness history, that's our sign to relocate ourselves back to the boat. Alright, you guys, while I have a minute here, let me take you around and show you what it's like to be on a cruise ship here in the Nile. First of all, lots of families. Alright, let's start at the lobby. You've already seen the room tour. Let's start in the lobby. This is the lobby. Very nice. You got the marble flooring. So guys, and you come up here. So actually downstairs, we'll show you that in a second. That's the dining hall. Here is the card room where you can hang out and play cards. Then you walk up these stairs, and this is the lounge bar area. We'll cruise past here towards the back. This is the bar. You got some Cuba Libres, sunshine. You got a bunch of drinks choices here. You got a awesome pool table there. Also, this is Alan, the photographer here on the cruise ship. He's the best.
Welcome, sir.
Make sure you come say hi if you're on here. All right, we're gonna check out. He's gonna show me the captain's area. Oh, there he is. Hello, shukran. Thank you for driving, for a safe drive. That's it. Now, you go up to the sun deck. This is where the pool is. Take you down here. Is another bar. Gentlemen, we got a workout station here. Hi. Another fun workout machine here. And then we go back downstairs. Whoa. Assalamu alaikum. That's my man Salah.
Hello.
He's the massage expert. If you come over here,
Yes.
this is the massage and spa area. Salah, how's it going?
Welcome. I'm fine. Everything okay?
And then this is the dining hall. This is where everybody comes to eat. You got salads here. You got a beautiful station. You got the boys here. Habibi, the crew. They're all here. Salah's here. And this is it. So you got all the stations of food. And if you come over here, you got a little one grabbing it, but you got the bread station here. And you got, this is desserts over here. And the sweets. That's your favorite? And you got this sweetie here. So this is the Nile River Cruise. And for the last 15 years of me traveling full time, I've made a promise to myself that I would never be on a cruise. For many reasons. I don't think it's a sustainable way to travel. There's just so many people, overcrowded in certain places. Lots of people on one boat. I don't love big crowds. Overconsumption of many things. And I had a lot of negative stereotypes to cruises, and I've never been on a cruise before. And now, don't get me wrong, this doesn't necessarily change my perception, but in this particular situation, a smaller cruise, I'm happy we went this route. Now, Habibi, now for a guy traveling through Egypt, it's not necessarily unsafe, but you do have to be aware all of the time of people selling you stuff and upselling you, upcharging you, and we saw that in Siwa. So we wanted to have as little stress as possible to see as much as we can and have the confidence of a local contact. And Egypt is all about having local contacts. I know this is true. This is my #1 piece of advice across the world. Find somebody local to travel around with, but truthfully, Egypt is even more so important. And I'll talk about the little idiosyncrasies of Egypt and traveling here and the safety precautions to take and what to be aware of in another video. But in the meantime, this is our cruise experience. And one side note that's very interesting as well is on this trip, we thought we were going to be with just a bunch of other foreign tourists, but it's been really nice. This boat is primarily Egyptian travelers, Egyptian tourists. So it's a great thing to be able to be in the mix with actual Egyptians when we're in Egypt. It feels like a very local tourist thing to do, if that makes sense. It makes it feel a little bit more authentic. It's about as close to authentic as you can get on a cruise ship, I guess. And now the sun is starting to shine in my face as we back into our parking spot to head back out into the adventures. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up, hit that notifications bell, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to check out videos from the rest of this Egypt series. All right, I gotta get ready, get off the boat. See you guys in a little bit. Oh, it's a video. All right, next up on the hit list is beautiful architecture, archaeological. Did I say that? Wait. Why crocodiles? What's going on?
Crocodiles for Nubians, the same as cats or dogs for Americans.
Also, look at this. Look at the attention and detail. Right down to the belly button. That is impressive. Live and direct from the cruise ship, we are about to head into Kom Ombo. I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can add it down. In the distance. See that guy? That. Oh, look at that autofocus. That's really good. A couple of cruise ships already there. That's just something you deal with when you're on a big boat that we're learning. We're just gonna exchange. transition. We're gonna trade in. Off the boat and on to the ruins. A couple of cruise ships here. A little gatita. And we're heading up to Kom Ombo. Did I say that right? Kom Ombo? That was good, huh?
Yes, Kom Ombo.
Kom Ombo. Thank you. Kom Ombo. Here we are. Kom Ombo. It's nice. We're here right at sunset. This is the setup.